Hey folks, welcome to 95 to Freedom. My name is Alex. So glad you found this channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the bloodbath, the market dip that we had in the end of February that's still going on, and how our high yield dividend funds performed with this bloodbath. If you're new to this channel, my name is Alex. In this channel, we talk about real estate. My career is electrical engineer. We talk about stocks. We talk about this high yield dividend portfolio that we're testing out before we put a lump sum of money into it. So let's dive right into it and let's take a look how we've been doing. So real quick, again, shout out to all my new subscribers, folks. So glad you're finding this channel. And I got 22 subscribers, which is amazing. People are watching my videos. Please leave feedback. What do you want me to cover some more? Do I waffle too much? Do I talk too quiet, too loud? Is it too boring to watch? I want some feedback, okay? So that aside, let's talk about what's going on. We're going to take a look here. This is VTSX. This is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index. And we're going to look at the 5-day chart. Okay, folks. So in the last 5 days, total stock market, U.S. stock market, has dropped 2.86%. Okay. Now, this isn't a market crash. This is just a small correction. But this is a good time to experience this because we want to see how our high yield dividend funds are performing. So as you can see here, we got 2.86% across the whole market. Take a look at the S&P 500. We had a 2.78%. Okay, so slightly less dip than the total stock market. Very good here. Now I'll show you this big one here. Tesla, folks. Tesla went under $300 this week. And in the last 5 days, we lost almost 20%, which is insane. Let's look at our total chart here from the inception. Yes, we should have bought sometime here when it was $1, but it's okay. We're down to 290. A lot of political stuff going on with Tesla, with Elon Musk. Whatever side you land on, as you can see, this stock is volatile. Now, a lot of folks made a lot of money with this one. Okay, if you bought in here back in last April, could have doubled your money, could have sold, but looks like we're creeping right down to that. Okay, so next, we'll take a quick look at some of the funds that we talk about here. YMAG, okay? This is from YieldMax. Yeesh, 5-day chart, negative 5.69%. As you can see, and this is what we're talking about. This is the Magnificent Seven. These are the 7 most profitable funds like Apple, like Google, like Facebook, like Tesla, that a lot of people made a lot of money on. But you can see that hit was pretty large in the last 5 days. If we look at the 1-month chart, we're down 7%. So most of that drop has happened in the last 5 days here. 6 months, we're down 10%. Again, half of that just wrecked us. And year to date, almost 11%. Okay, now this one, for those who are new folks, this one pays out a pretty hefty premium in dividends. YMAG stock dividends. All right, let's just take a look here. What are we up to right now? I think it's 40 some percent. No, I don't want no ads. 41% dividend, okay? So we talk about this. Check out my other videos where I review it. Let's not linger here. Next one, XDTE. We just did a video on this one. We compared it to the YieldMax fund. Now, this is what I like to see, folks, here. Look at that. 2.53% down in the past 5 days. What does that tell me, folks? Well, if I'm comparing that to this, that's half of that. And look at that. If we compare this to the S&P 500, which took a 2.78% hit, XDT actually performed better than S&P 500 in this downturn that we had in this small correction. This is quite impressive, folks. Okay, so that aside, let's see what is going on to our portfolio, folks. And you know, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I don't work for these funds. I've made most of my money in real estate. I mean, I've been investing in my 401k for over 12 years or so. So, you know, I put money aside into long-term investments, but I really wanted to learn more about the market. Okay, so we're experimenting with these high yield dividend funds, and we want to see how they're doing. I started back in January. January 7th is when I made my purchases. So once we get to March 7th, it'll be exactly 2 months since I've started to invest in these funds. Now I've put in roughly about $12,300 into them. I put about $100 every couple of weeks, and let's see where we're at, folks. All right, so this is just a screenshot. I started to kind of break it down a little bit. Now, the reds, don't mind the reds. These are some, and again, I probably should have a separate portfolio for this. These are some calls that I'm doing, some option trades. As you can see, they're not looking pretty. I was actually up 30% yesterday, but this stock actually took a nosedive. So, but we'll see how that works out. So don't worry about the reds. We're not interested in that. Let's take a look at everything else. So these are the high yield dividend funds, and I have them ranked by today's gains versus losses. Okay, so up top here, MSTY. This is the MSTR stock, the Yield Max ETF that we have in it. We actually had a pretty nice comeback today at 4.6%. But overall, folks, right here, this is what I want to show you. You know, this one pays out pretty high dividend. It's like over 100%. But since I've bought into it, I'm already down 25% on this fund, which is kind of gross. Okay, we'll move down here. YMAX. Okay, YMAX. Today we actually had a little bit uptick, 1.5%, but I'm down 9% on this fund overall. All right, next one. FEPI. Okay, FEPI down 7%. This is from Rex funds. Now let's just go back real quick here. Let's look at S&P 500. Let's look at year to date. Year to date S&P 500, and remember this, folks. Let's keep this in our mind. Year to date 1.73%. We're in the green. So if you bought in beginning of the year, okay, you would make 1.73% if you hold on to it. Go back to our funds. That did not meet that, okay? But again, you know, these pay out dividends, and we know they erode, but how much did they erode? Okay, Coney. This is another one. This is from YieldMax on the Coinbase stock, down 26.7%. Not looking good. All right, RDTE. Okay, see, we're getting a little bit closer. This is the small caps from Roundhill. This is a pretty new fund here. Now, I just got into this one. I don't remember when, but it wasn't the beginning of the year. But we're down 4%. Okay, we're up 0.3% today, which is good. I like to see that we're bouncing back. So I like to see this. This is pretty good. I would say 4%, not too bad for not knowing when we bought in. Let's not waste our time on that. Move down here. QDT, I bought into this one in the beginning. We're down 3.28%. Now this one pays like, I think like 38 or 40% dividend, something ridiculous. So not too bad overall. Okay, not too bad. We'll highlight this one green because we see it's bouncing back. Okay, it's bouncing back. Next one, JEPQ, negative 0.38%. Now, this one's interesting. Okay, so this is from JP Morgan, and this one pays out a 10% dividend. And so it pays out monthly, and overall we're down 0.38%. So we'll have to come back to this one. Okay, I think there's some more looking up because I'm not sure if Fidelity, are you counting my reinvestments? I think you are. I think it's counting the reinvestments. So I think this one's kind of like a wash at this point. XDT. So I wanted to see how this one's doing. Okay, this one pays like 20. Oh gosh, I'm starting to forget all these. I think this one pays like, let's see, 26%. 25%. Okay, so that one pays 25%, and we're up 0.28%. We're up 0.22%. Okay, negative 2% for the year. YMAC. Again, this one, we're getting wrecked on. Okay, we're down almost 10% on this one. Not good. USA, I bought like 5 shares of this. I haven't seen a single dividend. This pays out like quarterly. I'm not really interested in it at this point. Next one, XPay. This is the one that pays 20%. That's the one that they want to pay out 20% throughout the whole year. A little bit on downturn today, but I mean, that's pretty much a wash. Negative 0.71% year to date. That's not bad. You know, I like that. This is pretty close to zero. Okay, so I mean, right here, I think considering for what these pay out, this is looking pretty decent here. All right, not too bad. XPay, we'll just highlight that one green. CLM, CRF, these are the closed-end funds. This is like a whole Ponzi scheme thing going on in this stuff. If you guys aren't familiar with it, basically, there's only a limited amount of shares, kind of like Bitcoin, and then they have like, when you drip it, but you can only drip it in certain brokers, like I think E-Trade, Fidelity does it, Robinhood doesn't do it. If you do it, the ones that allow the drip is automatic reinvestment. Basically, you get to purchase that same stock at the NAV, which is the net asset value, which right now is about a 30% difference. So actually, you're making 30% every time a dividend's paid out when you reinvest it. It's very complex, but then they have like these rights offerings where like every 6 months the value of the stock drops, and then people like try to sell ahead of time and then buy the shares back. There's folks who make a living selling courses on this stuff. But anyways, it's been absolute garbage. It's down 10%. Drip, no drip. I'm losing money on this. I put $4,000 into this. I already lost $400 in this. Okay, I don't know. I had a little bit of faith in this fund. I thought something might happen with it, and then they announced this N2 right on Friday after the market was closed. You couldn't even sell the shares anymore. I don't know what the deal is with it. Okay, we'll leave it at that, guys. TSLP. This is the Tesla from Curve. Getting absolutely wrecked. 30% down, 4% down today. Again, we saw the chart for Tesla. Tesla's not having a good time. Okay, so what do we highlight green? Okay, folks, RDT, QDT, JEPQ. We got USA, which doesn't even pay anything. XPay, we got negative 0.71%. Yield Max, come on, Yield Max. Why are we down so much? I want to believe in you guys, but we're down 10% year to date, folks. That's only 2 months. It hasn't even been 2 months yet. We're already down 10%. I don't know about that. I'm thinking about it. You know, we're gonna have a closing with this rental that I'm selling. I'm gonna have approximately $200,000. I want to put it into some high yield dividend ETFs. Okay, folks. I don't know how I feel about putting something that drops 10% in a month when the market is up over the past 2 months. So, not sure. But this is the results, okay? This is what I wanted to see. Listen, we're not trying to sugarcoat anything. We're trying to see the raw effects of a market correction. What happens to our funds? Okay, and so far, I'm not sure. Now, I'll point out, and again, I'll give credit to Yield Max today. Yield Max today, if we sort these, what do we see up here? We see Yield Max right here. MSTY is up. So YMAX is up today. Okay, what else was up today? YMAG, I don't know why this is showing 0, but we'll take 0. Okay, so we'll keep these in our back pocket. We'll see how we're going to continue to test this for another month. I close on my house beginning of April. So we'll continue to chug along with this account. We're going to see what happens. But so far, as you can see, the yellows, I'm not too happy with the yellows. The greens, not too bad. The reds, this is something that's bouncing back, okay? So there's potential. I like to see a bounce back. If we continue to see a decline, if we continue to see every day it's red, I don't like that, all right? I don't want to lose my initial investment. But this is what we got, folks. This is our account. Look at this. This is pathetic. I'm down $1,600 overall. Okay, so, you know, that's hefty chump change there. Now, I'm doing all for an experiment, okay? We're not gonna feel sad about it. And some of this has nothing to do with it. I mean, I'm doing some of these option plays. I think they're gonna bounce back. The stock took a little dip. I was actually 30% up on these. Once I get a little better at options, I'll share my trades. We'll see how we're doing. Okay, we got some signals coming in on some hot stocks, so we'll see if we can make a little side income with the options. All right, let me know what you think. Are we crazy? Should we just stick our money into something safer like SPY or the S&P 500 and forget these dividends? Or do we chug along? I want to see some comments, folks. Again, thanks for sticking around today. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. This is free. This is not financial advice. This is my journey. Just sharing it all with you guys. Hopefully to inspire, to educate on my own mistakes. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Peace.